Hi, everybody. Welcome back to South Beach to South Bend. I am so excited. I know you guys are tired of hearing that, but genuinely, I haven't felt this excited in a while because I'm joined by such a special guest, Tavares Jones. So I'm going to let him introduce himself a little bit more, but I just want to tell you guys how special he is to me. He is my mentor from back home in Miami. So let me just pass it over to him. He knows what he's doing. He's a pro. So, Tavares.
Erika, you said you're excited. I'm excited for you. Man, you've grown in almost a year, right, since you left us here in South Florida.
It's been a year. It's funny because
Yeah, a
this
year.
time last year, me and you were having like just conversations about what was going to happen.
Yeah,
And now here we are a
yes,
year later talking about what has
yeah,
happened.
yes.
So,
So,
introduce yourself a little bit for people who don't know you.
of course, yeah. So, my name is Tavares Jones. I serve as the morning news anchor here at WSVN TV of Miami, Fort Lauderdale. We are the Fox affiliate, and we like to say we're the number one station in South Florida, bringing you all the breaking news, severe
You guys
weather,
are.
and everything else that happens that goes on in South Florida. It's a crazy news market. No 2 days are alike, but it's fun times. You know this. It's fun times. So, yeah,
Yeah.
glad to be here.
So, no, thank you. You made time for us. So, I honestly thank you.
Yeah. Our
so,
news
you,
show is like
s-
wrapping up right now.
yeah. So Tavares is an anchor, but he started off as a reporter. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got to see you like make that change from being on the
Yeah.
street to being on the desk. And honestly, like even before
Yeah.
it happened, I knew it was gonna happen. Like I just saw it coming. Like I've
Oh,
always
thank
told you
you.
this. Like even before I really knew you, I'm very observative. So like I would always watch the hits and like take it all in. And those are
Yeah.
things that I've carried with me on like my journey
Hmm.
too. And I just love like your on-air presence. Like I always told you this, like you were not there to play at the scene. Like you were there to collect the information and bring it back. Like,
Yeah. That's what this business is about. So actually, I marked 10 years in TV news this November. So talk about a journey. I started out as an MMJ. Do you MMJ? Mostly, okay.
yes.
Just like you guys. That's the brunt of the business. You start out in a small market somewhere, and you climb the ranks of the business. Often you don't know what's ahead, and so here I am by chance landing in Miami, Florida, and got an anchor seat on the morning show. And we do what 6 full hours of morning news and a noon show. So certainly blessed to be in this position. But yeah, I started in a small market like I was Macon, Georgia, market 120, right? 3 years there, MMJ, one man band, you name it. Then from there went to Dayton, Ohio, and then from there I got on the anchor track and went to Northwest Arkansas, and then out of nowhere I came in here, like when you met me, as a weekend anchor and reporter on the street on the morning show. I love morning news, and only after short 18 months I was promoted to a main seat on the morning desk. So a lot of people will say my ascension to the seat was fast, but like you said, I didn't come to play when I first got here. Most people have like a 90-day probation period. I took my first year walking into Channel 7 as like, be the best. It's ratings period every day. So deliver, deliver, deliver. Don't take no for an answer. Be tough out in the streets, as well as a leader in the newsroom. And then I guess it worked out. So here I am. So again, blessed to be in this role. And I got to meet you while you were here on the morning show. So that's good.
No, I'm so glad we met. Like everything just worked out timing wise, like
Yeah.
perfectly. Because if like I hadn't met you, like God knows, first of all, what station I'd be at, or if I even would be at a
Mhm.
station. I think
Yeah.
we got to meet at a perfect time because I got to know you and I got to
Yeah.
see you on the anchor desk before I left. So
Hmm.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
So like you were saying, you worked your way up. You started off at a small market, and it wasn't easy. How
Hmm.
many years before you reached Miami were you like an MMJ in total?
Okay, so I was MMJ for 3 years in Macon, small town Georgia, middle of the heart of the state, and that was just the culture of the employer that I worked for. The station I worked at was like we all MMJ. We had a few photographers. You're lucky if you got a one for a live shot, maybe, but otherwise, I was just so hungry for the opportunity, right, and hungry to be a storyteller and an advocate for the community. And so I didn't care. Like carrying my own camera. I used to forget to white balance sometimes, but in the end, we get the hang of
Guilty.
it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Or turn the mic on. All these little like minor mistakes that you want to get those kinks out in the early parts of your career.
yeah.
And then from there, when I went to Dayton, Ohio, I was a weekend morning anchor and a night side reporter. And that was just like a different market. And then I had a chance to be a main anchor in the mornings in Arkansas. But again, that was like a smaller market. So you know how the market size works, right? Like
Yeah.
I started in 120, which was making, I think Dayton, Ohio was like 62. And then I had to drop down to 95 to get my anchor stuff on, like get my full time anchoring on. And
Yeah.
after like 3 years there in Arkansas, then I got a call out of Miami, and then I got here. And sometimes I always say like there's no perfect like road to wherever you're trying to go. Like if you say, okay, my goal is to get
Yeah.
to, I don't know, the NBC Today show, for instance. There's no like cookie cutter path on how people climb this business. And so
Yeah.
I would say the perfect opportunity, right? It comes when you are prepared, and then it just presents itself. And so you always want to stay ready. What stay ready? Don't get ready,
Yeah.
stay ready. You
Stay
know that
ready.
people say.
Be ready, stay ready.
Yes. So
But
just
I
being
just
in
want to,
position, be buttoned up and ready to go. Yeah.
yeah. And I just want to mention that because let's just talk about the biggest piece of advice that you've ever given me and that I still remember till
Uh-huh.
this day. When I
Uh-huh.
was, deciding what my first market was going to be, you told me
Hmm.
to remember three things or take them into account. And it was pay, title, location.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I think what you mentioned that you were at a 66 and then you jumped back to a 90 to get your full like
Uh-huh.
anchor like
Uh-huh.
for me that's something that I will figure out when the time comes, but I think that that's
Mhm.
so valuable because people just think it's just about climbing up, and no, sometimes it's about shifting. And like you said, everyone's journey is so different. Like my journey
Yeah.
won't be the same as other people's, and we've had this
Right.
conversation, and I know a lot of people
Uh-huh.
that have also had the same experience. Some people just stayed in Florida their whole lives and worked their way up in that Florida market.
And
And
it's possible. It's possible to do that. But yeah, what's for me is for me, and what's for you is for you. And there's room for everyone
yes,
at the table, but we'll just get
there
to the
is.
table via a different route, basically.
Yes, yes. I love that so much. And I actually had no idea
Yeah.
that you were at a 96 and jumped back down, but now you're saying that, I'm also going to
Hmm.
take that into account. And it's going to be another piece of advice for me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so how it's so funny. So from where were you when they called you from Miami?
Oh my God, I was in Northwest Arkansas, Market 95, and
So
so
how
it
did
was a
they
unique market.
find you?
So I have an amazing agent. So my time was coming up in Arkansas. I was doing the morning show there. Again, I'd only dropped down to get the anchoring experience, and so after about 2.5 years rather, I had hired an agent, and then she farmed me out to some stations, and so it was either Miami or Denver, Colorado. And I was like, gosh, I'm so tired of the cold. I can't do the snow. And Florida's home for me, but I haven't gone for like 8 years,
Yeah.
chasing the dream of the business. And so it
Yeah.
was just a chance for me to come back home. And I remember getting the call to come down to audition for WSB in Miami. And I remember saying, like, if I don't get the opportunity, what a blessing and an honor it is to even be on their radar and audition for this role. And I auditioned on a Monday. They called on Tuesday and offered the job. I think I was pushing a cart through like Walmart on this any given day.
Yeah.
And my just like, WSN, they think you have so much potential. They want to offer you opportunity. I remember just like, I could have
Wow.
cried, and I owe you like
Yeah.
a hug through the phone because it's that life changing moment where you're like, okay, everything I've worked for up
It's
until this
making
point is
sense.
paying off. I must be doing something
Yeah.
right, right? It's panning out. So,
That's so
but yeah,
beautiful that you're saying
95
that.
to 18, I think we are 16. I don't count markets anymore. I'm just here living riding the journey, blossoming where I'm planted. I always
Yeah.
tell you that too. Just enjoy the
Yeah.
experience, right?
My
Some days will be tougher than others, but it'll all work out in the end. So,
Yeah. My
yeah,
eyes are literally tearing up a little bit because it's like I just can't wait like for that moment.
yeah,
Like
it'll happen.
yes,
It'll happen.
yeah, you have to do the groundwork, and I feel like it's just going to build like that's what's built you to be such a great anchor. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel
I
like
always
even
say,
when you
okay,
were
so
a
before you can be a great anchor, you have to be a great reporter first, right?
yeah. Yeah.
So if
And
you before you get to the desk with all the glam and you sit there in the AC, you got to be out in the field. You got to be out in the field and sweat it out a little
yeah.
bit and know what it's like to work severe weather or a homicide or different whatever the stories are. There a city council meeting. You know the
Yeah.
process. So and that was rewarding too. I think when I got to this seat, I had worked for it, right? So there was no way of like,
Mhm.
oh, you got placed here, but no, I worked for it, and that was evident. And
Yes.
at Seven, we have a team. Everybody's so supportive. To see your colleagues and friends in the building happy for you that your success is happening because you worked for it. So that was
Yeah.
rewarding as well.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful, but that like yeah, what you said, it's all a journey and everyone's journey is so
Hmm.
different. So I've talked
Yep.
about this in my first podcast how like when I started you know this, you helped me out so much with my contract, and it's something that I'm never going to take for granted because I'm just like
Yeah.
a 23-year-old. I don't know if I was 23 at the time, but I think I was 23 at the time, about to turn 24. And I'm just like a
Uh-huh.
23-year-old girl, 6 months out of college. And
Yep.
it's so funny. I only spent 6 months at WSVN. So like that was
Uh-huh.
also quick. I thought I was going to be there for at least a year. Like, and I
Uh-huh.
was just, I don't know. I don't even know what the plan was, but I know that God had like a story written out for me and he had a plan laid out for me.
Uh-huh.
And I strongly believe that there's so much more to come. And yeah, I'm just so thankful for you because I remember when I was Sure. It was so funny because I think our friendship developed really quick. We got invited to like a birthday party, and then that's
A
how we
birthday,
met and we
a
started
coworker's birthday
talking.
party. Yeah.
And I feel like me and
And you
you're
asked me
very
some questions. I was
similar.
like, oh, let me pour into you. I think in life, or in this business specifically, or any career, you
Yeah.
need mentors. Like you, some people can do this on their own. I had two awesome mentors when I
Yeah.
first started out, so I can only ever pay that forward to somebody
Yeah.
who, well, you seem like you had a good head on your shoulders, like the old
Yeah.
people say.
Yeah.
When you came to you weren't like, oh, I want to be on TV. It was like, hey, like this is what I want to do. I'm passionate about this industry. I
Yeah.
want to tell stories. I want to make an impact. How can I? What's the path like? So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
just come here, like. And I remember doing the morning show at like 5, and then I was like, come and see me after 5, and we'll go over your
Yeah.
paperwork. We'll talk about this. Here are the questions you'll want to ask on your interview. All the things I handed to you
Yes.
are things that people kind of helped me and grew me with in the beginning too.
Yeah.
So, and then you've got to pay it forward to somebody else because that's how we all win, right?
Yes.
Like, so yeah, that's
Yes.
important.
And I always keep that in mind. Like, obviously, I haven't been here very long, like in the industry or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
like, so when we get interns, I'm like, I want you to ask me whatever. Like, there is no dumb question
Yeah.
because trust me, like, coming from the college I came from, I didn't have a lot of like hands-on experience. I've had to learn
Uh-huh.
everything like error and trial and like really like
Uh-huh.
it's been tough, but like, I've learned so much and I do want to pay it forward. And I met great people here. And I think the advice everyone
Uh-huh.
gives is like, always pay it forward. And like,
Yeah.
it's just, as yes, you do find good people, but sometimes
Yeah.
not, it's not always that way either. So you just have to pay it forward, like be the good,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Be
So
the good in the world and be the good in the newsroom.
yeah,
And so I was telling you
it's
earlier,
two worlds.
I can pop into any realm of this newsroom, whether it's like with the producers or upstairs in the director booth, and they just like everybody likes Tavares. It's cool, but that's a blessing to be like respected and seen as a leader in the
Yeah.
newsroom. And then when I bring stuff to people's attention in the buildings, like, oh, he means well, or oh, hey, he cares about the entire team.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you
So
brought that
I
up.
pride myself on that. I like that because it's just that's, and I wasn't afraid to
Yeah.
come into you. You were working in digital web back then when you were
Yeah.
here at
Yeah.
Seven. I was like, hey, like I speak to everybody. Like, what's up?
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I think our friendship developed quick. Like I met you there, and then
Yeah,
like I think we exchanged. Oh no, we followed each other on Instagram, and I remember all this
yeah,
just happened to me at once. I went to NHJ, and before I knew it, like we
yeah.
had these offers on the table, and there was a Florida offer. I don't know if you remember that we talked about
Uh
Jacksonville,
huh.
but
Uh huh.
you said. Erica, think about time, pay, location. And that's what ultimately
Yeah,
helped me decide here. But I will never
yeah,
forget that you literally sat with me at your desk and we went through
yeah,
the whole contract. And you're like, you
yeah.
can't change
Line
your
by
look.
line.
Yeah, you were like, you can't change your look drastically. I'm like, what do you mean? But and we did the math and we just did what we had to do. So I'm really like
Yeah,
thankful for you. And I'm always gonna remember that, like honestly. And I tell everybody, I'm like, I have a great mentor in Miami. Like he really like helped me and that's just what I hope to do someday. I haven't been here long, but if I can help the people that we have coming in, like
oh, you
I'm
will.
glad to do so.
You're gonna be
Let's
awesome. You'll be great.
so from Arkansas to Miami, that's
Um,
quite a like. How were they watching you, or how did they hear about you? Like, yeah, you said through your agent at the time, but did she send a video in, or like how did that work?
yeah. So agents, they're remarkable people. They do great work for a small fee.
Yeah,
A small fee.
yeah,
And not everybody needs an agent, right? I have friends who are very successful in this business and are in markets as equal as Miami and have done the whole climb by themselves. Sometimes without an agent, it just takes more legwork. I didn't get an agent until my third move in the business. So no agent
okay,
going to Macon, I did that for myself. No agent going to Dayton, Ohio, did that alone. No agent
hmm
going to Arkansas, did that alone. And then at that point, I was like, okay, I've reported, I've MMJ'd, I've been a breaking news anchor, I've been a weekend anchor. I'm on this morning desk in Arkansas. I've got to break that, break those numbers. I got to go above a 50 or a 60. And
yeah,
so I reached out to a firm and they found me and then I sent her a tape and her job is to market you. Like, hey, I have this amazing guy in Arkansas.
hmm
His name's Tavares. And then she sends it to 20 stations. And then the stations will say, hey, let's have a phone call. Or, hey, we want to talk to him.
yeah,
And then WSN was the one who said, oh, we like something. We like what he gives, like what he has to offer. Let's bring him down for an audition. And
yeah,
I remember I was terrified. And I remember just thinking, what's it called, imposter syndrome? You're thinking, like, oh my God, like they want
yeah,
me, like me, like Tavares, like what?
yeah,
So it played on my mind for a second. Like I have been climbing the ranks of these small and mid-sized markets, and it's like, wow, you're actually not as bad as you think you are, but you're not as good as you think you are either. There's always room for growth.
yep,
So so it's a balance of staying humble between, just like, okay,
yes.
I'm good, I'm solid and confident, but always remaining humble at the same time.
Yeah. And I feel like I struggle a little bit with that confidence side. Like, I definitely
Uh,
have seen the growth over the year. I definitely
I'm
have seen
just
the
looking
growth.
at you now. It's like,
Yeah,
and I
I feel like
remember
when we,
times. You
Wait,
would
sorry.
call me when you first got there, and I'm like, Erica, stick with it.
Yeah.
Like, stick
Oh
with
my
it.
God. Let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah. Tavares, like we don't talk every day, but when I need
Yeah,
advice, you are a mentor.
yeah,
Like you really
yeah.
are. Like,
And
and
we're
we don't
there,
need
and
to
the
talk every
conversation's like
day.
an hour long, and I'm like, okay, get some
I
rest. Good
know.
night.
Yeah. I'm like, you need to get some rest because you're on the morning show tomorrow.
Yeah,
But
always.
yeah, every
But
time
yeah,
I
go into
need.
it. Talk about that.
Sorry,
That's
what?
deep. I said, go ahead and talk about that. That's the reality of this
Yeah,
business
that
sometimes,
first
right? Like,
market. And you've always given me that advice. And like in the
yeah,
midst of the battle that I'm having internally or whatever it may be, I always remember, like you said, those hard moments are what's going to shape
mhm,
you for this big market. I feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
dragons just get bigger. So you have to slay
yes,
dragons at all levels. So,
yes,
especially in a news market in Miami where things like there's no such thing as a slow news day. Like there's nothing. It's
right.
either gonna be like a bank robbery or just something going on. Like
Or a
so
plane
yeah.
crash in the Everglades, or an alligator and a snake. Yeah,
I'm
like out of control.
wait, side note, I kind of miss like watching the police chases. Like I miss that. Like that was such a time. Like for me, I would thrive off that. But yeah, that's some of the news I miss. But
Yeah,
yeah, I remember at the beginning, I always obviously got homesick and I struggled a lot and I would call you and you're like, Erica, you have to stick it through if this is what you want. I remember you telling me when the snow hits you on the face and you're out
yeah,
here in severe weather,
yeah,
those are the moments that are gonna shape you. And what happened like a month later, it started snowing and the snow hit me right in my face and we talked
yeah,
about it too. So I
yeah.
feel like there's been a lot of shaping and a lot of growth and honestly it hasn't been
Hmm.
easy. Like even right now, like just seeing you, I feel like so excited and so emotional because I
Oh,
do get homesick still, like
yeah.
and that's normal, but I'm still doing the thing and I'm still like
Hmm.
at least I feel like as much as maybe I don't give myself enough credit, sometimes I try to, in the fact that like I jumped out of having like literally no experience. Not even in college. I had a minor like hands-on experience, but I jumped
Uh-huh.
across like to the Midwest from Miami
Yeah.
and like I'm living on my own for the first time, something I've never even done before, and I'm here
Hmm.
doing something that no one's ever laid the groundwork for. Like I'm
Yeah.
reporting in Spanish. So
Hmm.
I don't want to discredit anybody because I know we do have other radio stations that do things in Spanish too, but I'm saying
Yeah.
like on air, like this is
Yeah.
paved the way for people to come. So yeah, you've really helped me a lot in that sense. And I want to ask you, so did you know like WSVN like before you started work? I'm pretty sure you knew WSVN, but like is that kind of what you were looking at if you ever did go back home, or what was your thought
No,
process?
I had never planned on coming back to Florida ever. It was too hot for me. I had been spent most of
Wow.
my life here. I went to school at the University of Florida in Gainesville. I felt like
Yeah.
I had seen enough Florida, right? And I was like, I'm going to let this business take me wherever it takes me. My goal is
Mhm.
to work in whatever market where I'm
Yeah.
wanted and just be of service to that community. In
Yeah.
my mind, I go market to market and I try to make an impact while I'm there. And
Yeah.
so, when WSVN called, I was like, wait, the WSVN, like Channel
Yeah.
7 News, like crazy news, Miami. They were like, yeah, and I was like, gosh, Tavares, you must be doing something okay. Like you might have what it takes.
Yeah.
And I remember
No.
being when they flew me down. I remember staying at the hotel, and the woman, you know how the hotel check-in, they say, "Are you for business or pleasure?" And I remember telling the woman, "I'm here for the biggest interview of my life. Like this was the biggest
Oh,
interview of my life."
Tavares.
And I
Yeah.
would just remember like overcoming with
Mhm.
so much emotion, like what an honor it is to be Erica. They could have brought me in here and made me like the janitorial staff. I still would have taken the job because
Yeah.
because it
No,
was
me.
WSB Miami. But to be on their radar, an honor, right? Because who would have ever
Yeah.
thought in my wildest dreams that I'd working at this station, like the leader of
Yeah.
the market. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, and I feel like I also have to thank like people here at WNDU because it is a legacy station. So like
Hmm.
we're Market 99, and I feel like that's so
Hmm.
cool for my first job, and like we're
Uh-huh.
we're a legacy station, and like it's just been a great first market for me. And as you said, everyone's journey is different. So I might be at a
Yeah.
99 tomorrow, I might be maybe at a 120 tomorrow, or I might be at a 50. Like who
Hmm.
knows? Everyone's journey is
Yeah.
so different, and I young journalists definitely need to know that like just because someone started off anchoring doesn't mean you're going to start off anchoring, or just because
Right.
someone's anchoring and they're the same age you are doesn't mean it's going to happen that way for you, but your journey is yours only and it's going to be so unique and
Right.
it's what you need. And I'm a
Yeah.
firm believer that whatever God has for me will always be for me, and whatever God has for other people will always be for other people.
Right, and that's for them. And I always tell, I mean, I told you this when you first started. I said, don't get caught up in the market size. Don't worry if it's
Yep.
99 or 15,
Yeah.
because you're going to be able to. It's what you're getting from the market. Again, position, pay, location. So you can't get all three of those. You don't win with all three of those all the time. So like my first
Mm-hmm.
market, Macon, Georgia, not an ideal location. The
Yeah.
pay was not so good, but
Yeah.
the job, right? I had a job on air. I was a full-time reporter, and that's what I was going for, the
Yeah.
reporting role. And then once I polished myself up a bit and had something more to
Yeah.
offer, I said, okay, now I can get kind of choosy, but you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to forego at that season in your life?
Yep.
I was anchoring a main anchor in Arkansas, but when I got to Miami, they said, "Oh no, we don't have a spot. You'll be a weekend anchor." Okay, position. It's okay. It wasn't the best in the
Yeah.
building,
It's not
but the
like, yeah, let me
location, right?
work weekends, but you're in
Yeah,
Miami, so
the
it's okay.
position, the location, winning beaches and sunshine, and
Yeah.
then it put me closer to the family. So at every point in your
Yeah.
life, you have to kind of see what aligns for you. But then think about it. You'll get married one day. You'll have to start a family one day. So then not
Yeah.
only will your needs and wants matter, but then you have a family and children. All these other people's needs and
Yeah.
wants will also matter in your career as well. Luckily, all I
Yeah.
have is a dog right now, so he just picks up and
I
goes where I
love.
tell him.
I love your dog. I
So
keep up with your dog. He
yeah,
has such a fabulous life. I love him. He's a cute
he
Frenchie. And
lives
I
right.
think, did you get him before I leave or yeah, you
I
did get
did.
him
I think
before I
right before
leave.
you left. Right before
But I
you left.
never got
Yeah.
to meet your dog. I
So
don't
you
think
just
I
see him
did.
on social media, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or did I meet your dog? No, I don't think I met your dog.
No, I
But
think I bring him to the. He sits in the studio sometime on newscast. I haven't brought him in like a month though, but
yeah,
he's a hand. I think when I first got him, he was like 9 pounds. Now he's like 25 pounds. It's
he's the
like the
cutest.
squishiest,
He has his own
fluffiest Frenchie
house
ever.
and just like
Yeah,
he's like chilling right now. I'm pretty sure he's having
this
like a
is you.
massage somewhere.
You'll have to put some photos in this and show some of the photos,
We should
so
have
they can
done
see
that. You
you.
should have texted me those.
Yeah.
We could wait, can you actually hold up a picture? I'm pretty sure you have a bunch.
Yeah, let me see if my
Show
phone
us your
will show.
show us your doggy.
It.
But yeah.
He
Yeah,
turns
Tavares.
one coming up on the 26th, so we'll have a little birthday for him or something.
We
Let me,
I can't wait to,
let me find it.
visit. I want to visit
Yeah.
you guys. I feel like I miss you guys so much. And yeah, so I started off as a web writer. And yeah, I
Uh-huh.
remember like, I'm just so glad that, yeah, maybe we didn't like, we started talking towards the end of me leaving, but it was like a good two
Yeah.
months or a month. I don't remember. But you were
Hmm.
really like there for me. You really showed me that like, it doesn't matter how long you know someone. It's when someone actually wants to take on that mentorship role.
Right, and like the genuine intention, right? Like
Yes,
the
and I
intentional
felt it through
customer.
you. I felt
Yeah.
it through you, and like you said, you felt it through me. So for me, it's like it just all worked out
Oh,
perfectly. And like, remember how I can you tell them how I asked you to be
yes.
my mentor?
So you text me a ring emoji. It's like a proposal, like, would you please be my mentor? And I was like, I accept, yes, forever, like forever.
Where do I sign
Yes, what do I sign? Is there a contract?
for two
So
years?
yeah,
No.
but I gladly accepted that. I think it's important. Again, I saw something in you where you had to fight. Your head was on your head. You have a good head on your shoulders, like my grandma
Yeah,
would say. And you're in this for the right reasons. I think far too often we get people who just want to be
yeah.
on TV, right?
TV.
Well, nowadays, thanks to the power of podcasts like this and YouTube and TikTok, you
Yeah,
can be world famous and not be a broadcast journalist.
yeah,
And so the word journalist itself is like, I take that to heart, right? I get up every day and I say, I walk in this newsroom and I sit on this desk and I disseminate information to people, right? And my purpose is to give you something that's going to
yeah,
change your day, make you a little happier, smile a little bit if I can,
yeah,
empower you, alert you, and give you information to help protect yourself and your family. So I don't take
yep.
this platform lightly. Like it's a blessing and an honor to wake up every day and be in somebody's
Be able
home.
to
They
do
turn
this.
you on. And I'm like the
Yeah,
first voice they hear every day at 5 a.m. on this channel. So I
yeah,
don't take that lightly. So when I met you and you were like, I want to do this, I want to make a difference. And you just weren't like, put me on TV. So I said, okay, she seems
yeah,
she seems solid. Like let me help
yeah,
her. Let me guide her to where she needs to
yeah.
go. So and look at you now. Like you got your own
Thank
podcast. I don't have a
you.
podcast.
Well, you should
So
start one and bring me on.
yes, as
but
like my
but
first guest. Okay, deal.
but yeah, I think that's very important. Like you said, a lot of people think that this is something and it's completely different. Like I get
Hmm.
questions I get all the time are like, who does your hair? Who does your makeup? Me. Like that's just not the reality of it. So if you think this is some glamorous life, it's not. Like I'm out here sweating,
It is
especially as
not.
an MMJ. Like I'm in severe weather. I'm sweating. My feet are so sore, but I do it
Yes.
because I care. And I feel like the outcome at the end of the day, when you know you had a good story and you told it the best way you could, and like people reach out
Hmm.
after and they're like, wow, thank you so much for doing this or for the coverage. Like I loved it. It's like,
Yep.
that's when it all pays off because it's definitely
Yep.
not glamorous. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're not nowhere near a bathroom or a restaurant. So let's just start
Not
there.
at all.
Like,
Yeah.
so
And then
that's
they
the
see you on
truth.
TV for like all of 90 seconds, and they'll say,
And they see
"Oh,
you very well put
right."
together because that's part of
Yeah,
the
and you're like,
job.
you have no idea what I've been through for the past 7 hours to put this one little story together.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like I was in a bun before this and like, you know, I was like sweating and but you don't know that because I managed to like get it together.
Yes, so true.
So can
And
you
then I
show us
know
a
you touched
picture?
on, oh yes, my dog. Can you see this thing? Let's see. That's in
Yes.
her stroller.
So cute. How old is he now?
He is 1 year old on the 26th of August, coming up 1 year.
That's a
So
fancy
I'm gonna get this
stroller.
cake, and then he's got a crown and all these things.
I
It'll
don't
be on
blame
social
you.
media.
I don't blame you.
And
I threw
that's
a dog
crazy too.
birthday
My
party
dog,
too.
he wakes up at 2 a.m. Like I get up at 2:45. He's up at 2:45, like walking around. I'm like, Gideon, go to sleep, like rest, like chill out.
You can rest. So rest. Yeah,
Yes.
that's how I felt with my dog too. Because I would work the morning shift as at WNDU too, so I'd have to get up pretty
Mhm.
early too. But yeah, it was just so cool watching you guys do your thing, and I feel like I learned a lot from you guys that I've brought here. Like I remember you guys used to say "back out live," and like I literally use that
Yeah.
now. And I know it's a little phrase that I picked up from you guys, but it also helps me cue my producers when they know like I want the camera to
Right.
be back on me. But I'm like, that's such
Right.
a Miami thing I picked up.
Yes, all those things. I mean, so part of it, I always say, even though you're in the field reporting, you are still in control of what you're putting out. So I would say, back out here live, meaning producer, director, punch back to me and show me on camera. Or if I say like, I want to take you to some video when this all first started,
Yes.
that means
All that I
take the
got
video.
from you, Tavares. Like you should literally
Yeah,
see me in some stories. And I hear your voice in my head and I'm like, that's how I'm gonna
yeah,
say it. Because that does make sense and it helps them a lot. And it's like that's how I want the
yeah,
hit to look.
yeah. It puts you in command, even in the field. Even though you're like a small portion of the newscast, you
Yeah.
still can kind of direct your what you're delivering to the public.
Yeah.
But yeah, we know it's one big team. We don't do it all by ourselves, right? You see a reporter on TV. There's a host of people behind the scenes that make it all happen. So
Yeah.
without them, we're nothing. We're not available.
We're
We can't
not.
get on TV. So I'm always grateful for them, and that's important to have good working relationships with everyone in your
Yeah.
newsroom, and not only in your newsroom, but in this business.
The
This business is
community.
so small.
Oh,
You can know
yeah.
someone and market 99 today, and they might be your boss and market 12 tomorrow. You just never
Exactly.
know. So
Yeah. I'm
always
like, be
putting
nice, everybody.
professional. Yeah. So yeah.
How has it been sharing the desk with Alex? So yeah, let's talk a little bit about that because you and Alex, I love you guys so much, and I look up to both of you guys so much. So you guys are what I want to be as a reporter and an anchor someday. I feel like I've picked up small things, but I have a long way to go to be where you guys are.
No, you're gonna be great. I'm getting emotional. Hold on one second.
That was
Alex
me two
DeArmas
seconds
is
ago.
she's amazing, right? So in this business, you are lucky to have a co-anchor who you really like click with. And
Hmm.
oh my gosh, why am I crying? She's not even here today. She's off, and we get back together tomorrow. But no, like talking about striking the jackpot with a co-anchor. She
Yeah,
calls herself my work wife.
she is.
Every day we come. She's pregnant right now, and I think it all started when I got up here around last November or August or something like that. And she says, "Hey, come to my house for Thanksgiving." And her family just ushered me, and they were so nice. I even brought my dog, and we held it. She had a baby, I had a dog, but
Two babies.
she's like my right hand. Like if she's not here, it's
Yeah,
like okay, something's off today because she's not here. So she's been out for
yeah.
2 days, but what an
Oh,
honor to sit next to somebody with such a pure spirit and
yeah.
genuine person. Somebody you can feel
Yes.
safe. This is my safe space. We can talk about stuff, and she's my friend. If I'm not well, she's not well, and if she's not well, I'm coming to find you because why is
Yeah,
she not well?
yeah, yeah.
We will stand in the paint for each other, and it's just been a great ride so far.
Yeah.
And I hope it never ends. I hope we grow old together, not on this morning desk, but
Oh,
some desk or somewhere in life.
yeah.
And
That's
so
beautiful.
she'll be going on maternity leave at some point, but I'm like, I'm not gonna not see you for however long you're gone. I'm gonna like
Yeah.
stop by your house,
Busy.
see you, bring
You're
food, and
gonna
all
miss
these
her
things.
though because it is a long
Yeah,
time. But yeah,
terribly, yeah. But
I love
life is
you and
lifing, right?
Alex.
And I'm so happy for her and her husband Gabe and her little daughter Charlie. But no, that's she's like my best friend. So what a blessing
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
that.
I
So
remember
yeah.
when I came in, like you said, I'm very like I don't do it for the fame and stuff. So like when I first got the job, I literally didn't even like I was scared to like introduce myself and stuff because I'm not in people's faces. I think connections should like happen genuinely and along the way. So me and you literally talked like a month before I left. But I always wanted
Yeah.
to talk to you guys, but I'm very like shy and I just like I believe in genuine connections rather than hey, like this is what I want to do and this is who I am. Like if that's other
No.
people's approach, that's fine. But I'm very like
Yeah.
shy.
You
So
reserve like I'm not gonna just ambush you with questions and
yeah,
like
I'm
meet
not gonna
me. It's
just do
like
the most. Yeah,
I'll
I don't
pass you in the
know.
hallway by the.
Yeah, no, no. So
I know, and
I
I
remember,
think our initial meeting was like a chance encounter. It was that birthday party. Remember the
yeah,
people
and
to
I
the
didn't
right,
even know
just
you
like
were gonna go. Yeah, I didn't even know you
and
were
I was
gonna
like, oh,
go.
I just came by chance, and then we sat at a table on the side, and it was like, oh,
Yeah.
and I was like, wait, you work at 17? Like, what do you?
Yeah,
What
you
shift?
had no idea who I was, and I was like, I've been
Yeah,
here for 5 months, but
I
but yeah,
know.
and we're both like, I guess a little bit. We're extroverted when we need to be, but we're also introverted. So like we sat at that party and we're
Yeah,
like just talking, and I feel like I'm the type of person that I know when it's time to be like introverted. Like
yes,
I don't need to be on 24/7. Like that's just not who I
yes.
am, and that's not who I'm gonna
Oh my God,
pretend to be.
you're like speaking to my whole like being right now. So so in this newsroom, they would think, oh, Tavares is, I walk around, I'm like Mr. Morning Sunshine. I love that. It's great.
Yeah.
Because they say I bring this positive energy to the newsroom. That's great. But
Hmm.
when I go home, I turn my
Muff.
phone off. I don't turn the
Yeah.
TV on. It's me and my dog. We're on the couch. Because you need that time to reset, right? You're on.
Yes.
You're giving so much to people. So I
Yeah.
like how you said that. I know when to like turn it on and off, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm chilling. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So
And I
true.
definitely need that. But yeah, I remember when I got the job, like I saw Alex on my second day in the hallway and I was like, "Oh my God, I've been watching her on TV forever." And Alex, like I've been watching her forever and I followed her on Instagram and she would always do the news recap on her Instagram. So
Yes.
like I
Yes.
was so like starstruck. It's so weird to say now because it's like now I talk to her and it's kind of weird. But like she was just so nice. I introduced myself like on my first day, like barely. I was like, "Hi, good morning." Like that's literally all I said.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Hi, good morning," and she was just so nice. And then over time, I developed that friendship, not friendship, but
Yeah.
like over time, I got to know her a little bit better.
The
She came
rapport,
into
right?
the
Yeah.
yeah, Steven is my old boss. So he kind of like
Uh-huh.
called Alex in there. He was like, she's like your biggest fan girl. I'm like, why are you doing this to me right now? But Alex was so sweet about it. She's like, let's take a picture. And like ever since then,
Yeah.
like she would come in and like check in or she would
Yeah.
message me when I would post something on Instagram. And like she's just like what you said is
Yeah.
genuine. Like I can read
Yeah.
genuine people through and through. And like I just get that
Yeah.
from her. Like I feel at peace even before I talk to her when she's near, you
Yeah.
know? And I felt the
The
same way
best.
about you. Like I didn't see you because you weren't in the studio all the time. You were out on the field
Uh-huh.
reporting. But I saw you on TV and I'm like, I know he knows what he's doing. Like I just knew that you were a good reporter. And then when I met you
At
at the
least
birthday
I
party,
pretended to look like I know what I was doing, right? I looked the part.
no, you were so good. Like you're like,
At
I'm
7, we
not
have a
coming to play.
standard. There's no messing up. You got to deliver. So that was nice.
Yeah. And I remember your pose and everything. Like you'd put your hands here and you'd give us the look of like, yeah, like I'm about to kill this live shot. You were just like one head nod and that's all you're gonna get from me, and I'm just gonna deliver right after.
Yeah. This is
So
very,
I
and it's funny. It's funny hearing you like play this all back. I'm like, I have no clue. But everybody has their thing, right? You have your thing
yeah.
that you do.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah.
I
And you'll
loved it.
find
And
doors if you haven't already. You'll have a thing. It'll be like the Erika thing that you do. Like, oh, we know her. It'll
I'm
be, yeah.
like back out live. I'm like, but that's not mine. You guys don't know
Yeah.
that.
Feel
So,
free to borrow it because I'm sure I probably got it from somewhere else.
but yeah, Tavares, thank you so much. And yeah, just I'm very thankful for you, and I want you to know that. And I tell you all the time, and I text you. And you just made a
So
year at the desk, so congrats. We were both
crazy,
transitioning
right?
in this period in our lives.
Yeah, at the same time. And so, okay,
Yeah.
so real quick. So with that, right, I had my own stuff going on, but you're never
Yes.
too busy. You're never too successful. You're never so caught up in yourself to where you can not give back to somebody else. So even though I
Yes.
had my own contract negotiations going on, I was like, Erica, wait, let's still sit down. Let's go over this stuff because
Yeah.
you're walking into a whole different realm of life. Like you said, you were born in
Yeah.
South Florida, had never left home. So the
Hmm.
least I could do is pour into you as much as I could to say,
Yeah.
hey, here's what, or this sounds like a
Yeah.
solid deal. Your boss seems decent. Your newsroom seems
Yeah.
cool. It's not
Yeah.
too long. You'll get through it. But yeah,
And
so
we talked
I'm
about.
so proud of you. I'm proud
Thank
that you're
you.
still there because I told you those first 2 years are going to make or break you. You're gonna say after,
Yeah.
after that first year, you say, can I do this for the rest of my life? Is this a career I want to
Yeah.
do? We see often so many times people they start in TV news and they say, hey, this is a lot. The schedule, the no holidays off, being away
People
from
don't see
family,
that
the
part.
time.
Like when
Yeah, and
you're
they'll
watching
leave
the
and go to
news,
public relations or something.
yeah, when you're watching the news on Labor Day or Christmas Day, obviously they like all these things, someone's working. Like someone's
Yep,
working.
yep,
And it's a
yep,
very hard career and I've always talked about this and God knows if I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, but right now I know it's what makes me happy and I never want to
yep,
give up. And I always want to say I at least tried it and I gave it my best,
yep.
you know?
Yeah,
So yeah,
because
I'm
if you did not
just
try it, you would have never known that you were
no.
good at it, and you are
Yeah.
good at it, by the way. So
Thank you so
keep
much.
fighting the good fight.
You've poured a lot into me. Like I really can't explain it and just genuinely like really thankful for you. Like All your
You're
advice
good.
stays in my head, and I remember, and I know like we have those conversations maybe every 3 months, but when we have them, they're like
Uh-huh.
2 hours long, and I'm like, let me
Intense.
tell you what's
Right.
going on.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
here's what's been happening for the past quarter of my life. Yeah. But no, you're gonna be good. You've got the right intentions, and like you said, even
Yeah.
if you're not in this forever, you've taken the first step and given it a shot. Like think about the people and the lives you're impacting right now in South
Yeah.
Bend,
Yeah.
even in the cold weather.
Yes, I have
Somebody,
survived my first
somebody looked
winter.
at you. Yeah. Wait, this winter was really bad. Was it? It was a lot, right?
People said it was mild, but in my opinion, I was like,
It
I'm
was
not
over the
doing
top.
this. I'm like, I do not want to participate in this. Please keep me
Yes.
indoors. Like, no one
Like,
saw me for
can I take
winter.
a leave and then
Yeah,
come back after the winter
for
is gone? Yes.
3 months.
Yes.
And it's funny because everyone was like, this was mild, but I swear no one outside of work saw me out in public during winter
Right.
because I was not
Yeah.
going out. I was having all my
Yeah.
groceries delivered. Like, I'm just not participating. Like, I'm not participating. But yeah, I'm
But
about to experience my second one.
now
And
you'll be
to,
prepared because you got through the first one.
it's a little chilly today. I'm like, it's been summer for two
Really?
minutes. It's a little too
Oh my
chilly
God.
for me. Honestly, yes,
Remember
Florida's
heat.
hot, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would rather deal with like the scorching hot and the frizzy hair than like, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the cold.
I don't know. It's right now. It's like 93 degrees or something. We're under heat advisory right now. It's a lot. Like every day. My dog,
That's
he can't go outside if it's
perfect.
more than 80 degrees. So we don't even walk a lot until
Oh,
night because he'll get overheated. But that's another
yeah.
story for another day.
Right now,
I have a
it's
question for you though.
72 here.
Oh, that's decent. That's nice.
It's a little like too windy for me.
I'll take
Oh,
it. I'll take that.
what were you gonna ask me?
Oh, question for you. Okay, so here you are
Yes.
now, 1 year into your career, because this is a
Yeah.
career. What's been the most rewarding thing you've learned, either at your station, WNDU, or in the market, or from the community, or just being right there and kind of living in the moment? What's one takeaway if I were to ask you that today? Like,
Yeah. I feel like when I moved here, my biggest worry was like, how was the community gonna receive me? Just because, like, let's be realistic, like Miami is such a vibrant group of like people from different countries, right? And
hmm
I'm from El
hmm
Salvador, but
hmm
South Bend is maybe not as diverse. So that was my biggest
uh-huh,
worry when I told my boss. I even asked him, I was like, how do you think the community is gonna take me in and stuff. And he was like,
yeah,
I think you'll be fine. But like, he was also new to this area at the time too. So
right,
I think now looking back at it a year later, I'm like, I've been so blessed. Like, I'm not
yeah,
gonna say that I haven't gotten like one or two mean Instagram comments, but nothing even mean. It's like it just doesn't even faze me because I come from South Florida. Like, I know
right.
mean people.
You've seen
So
quite a bit, right? Yeah,
I've
you've
seen
seen a
quite a
lot.
bit. So, but honestly, it's been nothing but love from the community, from everybody, all
Okay.
races. Like, and then that's just
Yeah,
beautiful. Like, thank you so much for accepting
yeah,
me for who I am. Like, and I don't know, like I said, I mean, I feel like I'm just as American as I am Hispanic. So, but it's just
yeah,
been a blessing to be welcomed into people's homes, and
yeah,
people are so excited for me, and they're like, we can't believe you're here and we have somebody bilingual, like this is great. And
yes,
I get a lot of cool
yeah,
opportunities out of that, and I don't take them for granted. I tell everybody when they
right,
ask me to MC an event, I'm like, thank you guys, because there's
yeah,
other people that have been here for way longer that can also do it. And but it's like,
uh-huh,
thank you for taking me into account. Like, I really appreciate that,
right,
and I'm
yeah.
more than happy to do so. And just connecting with people, I think that's been the biggest takeaway. Like, sometimes things feel scarier in our heads than they actually are when you get them done. Yeah.
But it's like before getting in the pool versus like getting in the pool and
Yeah.
swimming
Yeah.
and yeah, that's awesome. And so hearing you say that, I'm so happy. I'm so glad that it's worked out for you and you are
Yeah.
thriving and
Thank you.
surviving the winters.
Thank you.
Um,
Yes.
and every market that you go to in your career, you'll take a little piece of that with you as you go along the way.
Yeah.
If your goal is to get back to South Florida, of course, you always have a home in the Plex. We'll figure
Yeah.
something out if I'm
Thank you
here.
guys.
But no, along the way, you just like you take skill sets right from every
Yeah.
employer. Like you're
Yeah.
learning all this stuff at WNDU. You'll take that to the next opportunity and the next. And then when you get finally to Miami, for instance, you're like, okay, this is home. I'm here. I've arrived.
Yeah.
I worked hard to get here.
Yeah.
But you remember all
Yeah.
the people along the way that poured into you. You often hear people say, "I'm self-made," right? I'm self-made. For some people, they are. I never say that because it's the people who have prayed for you along the way, who have cheered you on
God,
for your
first of
success.
all,
It's the
for
people
me. Yeah.
yeah, it's the people who did not cheer for your success and gave you stuff and
The
you had to fight a little
strength.
harder. The street, yeah. So
Yes.
it's all those things. You're never, in my opinion, you're never self-made. It's all the things that helped you and were against you that you still fought through and
Yeah.
still
Can we talk
succeeded.
about that
So
too for a second? It's like,
yeah,
yeah, you get a lot of like support, but let's be realistic. there's not a lot of support in other areas or in other people sometimes too. And those moments also shape you. And it's like, I gotta go harder. Like, I gotta go
Yep.
harder. And like, I'm just
I have to
thankful
prove
for
you,
it.
I have to prove you wrong, right? Because you
Yeah.
doubted me, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's also a big lesson that I've learned over time. Like, so funny that you mentioned that. So yeah, I have to be realistic too in this podcast. And like, that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
I love
anytime
it.
I've been doubted or anything, like I just got to go harder. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, like you said, I think a lot of people think like, oh my God, it's just the city she misses. Like, obviously home is home. Like, for
Yeah.
everybody, home is home.
Yeah.
But I think the
Mm-hmm.
biggest struggle is like my family. It's not just, oh my God, South Florida and the beaches. Don't get me wrong. That's great. That's all I've ever known. But
Uh-huh.
it's more family based for me too. Like, it's hard being away from home, and it's completely
And so, and
360.
that's
Like,
one of the, yeah, that's a sacrifice. It is. And so it'll get better as you go. And think about it, like you'll get a little closer, right? You'll get a little closer
yeah.
and closer as you move up the markets. And then you'll make it back home. If that's your goal, to move home. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's so funny that you say that because I don't know. Everyone acts like they're always asking me, like, what do you want to do like next? And it's like, I honestly don't know. Like, what if God's plan is for me to stay here? Like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. But like, what if it's also like to move up? I don't know if I feel like you said, I feel like I'm in that phase too, where it's like I grew up in South Florida. I've seen everything I need to see. And I feel like moving here has shown me just that the world is so big and broad. Like, so maybe I want to move to Texas or California or maybe anywhere else. But I'm just saying, like, it's not always about just going back to South Florida. It's like, I'm so young and like being the coolest thing about this career is that it allows us to move around places and live in different areas and like get to
Yeah.
experience life in these places. So that's one of the pros of being a journalist. So, but yeah.
To see it all, right? In different places.
Yeah.
I will say this. What was I going to say? Oh, so in this business, we can. I mean, in life, period. Not just people in TV or journalism or news, but also in life. People, we get so caught up in the what's next. What's next? Okay, I accomplished this. What's next? What's next? And I admit, I was like that too. Starting out in Macon, Georgia, I gotta work. Get out of here. What's next? What's
Yeah.
the next station? Same thing in Ohio. Same thing in Arkansas. And then I get to Miami, and while it's Florida, it's home. I was like, gosh, for the first time, I'm not concerned with what's next. Like I'm actually
Yeah.
just in the moment. Like I'm okay with just going
Being here
home and
forever.
not even thinking about it. Well, I don't know about forever. Forever is forever, right? I love. I eat, live, and breathe 7 News, Channel 7. Love this place. I call myself the workplace cheerleader.
Yeah.
Love the people. It's a family
Oh
here.
my
We are a
God,
family.
Tavares. I call myself the bilingual cheerleader here. It's on my Facebook bio. I'm like bilingual
I love.
cheerleader at WNDU.
Yeah, because you need those people in the workplace who like on the worst days when they can only bring like 50% out of 100. You need people like the cheerleader to boost you up to that 100
Yeah.
sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But I will say this: I love this station. I mean, I will if I could stay forever, great. But I will say, in life, sometimes we are afforded opportunities, right? And whatever it is, it could be
Yeah.
the NBC Today show. It could be starting a family, starting a small business, going to law school, and
Things
you
that
just
are
have to kind of
also
really
equally
evaluate.
important.
Yeah, so you have to be a good steward of those opportunities and really weigh things out. So, love WSVN. They could just build me a house right in the station, but but
Well,
again, if an
they did.
opportunity, yeah, they did, right? I made out okay. Nice
He has a
partner in
new
the
office.
it came with the job. And Alex helped me decorate it. She like helped me curate this whole thing. So
Very
kind of
cute.
we hung photos and all that stuff. But yeah, I think you just have to be a good steward of opportunities again and consider those things, right? Where am I in life? What's the position? What's the pay? What's the location? What's my internal happiness? Because sometimes again we get caught up in the position or the paycheck or the numbers in the contract. What makes you happy? Right? Because
Yeah.
I could be a chef and I could still be happy. Well, not really, but
Yes.
because I hate cooking.
Oh my
But
God, me
whatever makes you
too.
happy. Yeah,
I literally almost
cooking.
burned my house down the other day, but that's a story for another
Really?
time. Yeah.
I ordered some meal delivery service, and after 2 weeks, I'm like, you guys can have these. I'm done. I don't want these meals anymore. So I got to
I'm
figure
like,
something out. Yeah, they
no,
just weren't tasting good.
I put a plate on the stove and like I turned the heat all the way up to 6, but like I thought I turned on the wrong stove, so it was heating up where the plate
Oh,
was at, and I'm like,
and it like
it smells
did it
weird,
crack?
and I thought it was gonna crack. Thank God I had a friend with me, and he saved me like right before it cracked. He was like, this is like burning. He's like, you turned the wrong one on, and I was like, but yeah. So, but yeah, I always tell people like you have been like tremendous help, and when
Oh,
people
energy.
ask me like what do I want to be, like a journalist or like who's my mentor or people that inspire me, it's always you and Alex. I feel like you guys are great people. I obviously have a like closer relationship with you and like but you and Alex are just what I want to be as a reporter, like, so I take a lot of the advice and things from you guys.
You're so welcome. You're
Yeah.
amazing. You're well on your way, young lady. I'm gonna call you young
Thank
lady
you.
because I'm like on the phone really now.
No.
But no, I think you are on the right path, and whatever you want to do in this business, it's certainly possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got this. So keep on thriving and fighting and pushing through, and the best is yet to come. I believe in you. You're gonna be great. So
Thank
yeah.
you. You're the best. And I'm actually going back to South Florida for my birthday. So I'll be in
Okay.
town like end of September. So we'll be
Okay.
in
We
contact.
have to
I
connect. We
want to
have to
come.
connect.
I
Okay.
think I'm gonna take South Beach to South Bend the podcast like to South Beach. So
Yes.
I kind of would love to visit the station and just see what like everyone's up to now.
Okay. Do it. Come.
So
You
I'll
have to
swing
come in the
by.
morning though. We start early, so come morning show. I'll
Yeah,
open the
I know
door
what
for
it's like. Yeah. You'll let me in.
you. Yes.
Okay, well, Tavares, thank you so much. I know you have a child at home that's waiting for you, so I don't
Yes.
want
You
to hold
probably
you
where's
hostage.
my dad right now?
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me. And obviously,
Sure.
I'll text you all the time and we'll stay in touch. But
Yes.
yeah, truly,
Yes.
truly, thank you so much. Is there anything you want to say before you go?
No, thanks for having me. I'm so proud of you, rock star, with your own
Thank-
podcast. I gotta come up with something. Wait, is South Beach to South Bend?
Yeah, and it's funny because that's a slogan like one of our producers gave me. Like when I came for the job interview, he's like, "Oh, you're taking
Uh-huh.
your talents from South Beach to South Bend," because it's something
Love it.
LeBron has said in the past. Obviously, he I don't know what the other side for him was, but it was like
Yeah,
taking my talents from da 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 to South Beach. So we just
yeah.
flipped it.
I
So
love it.
yeah,
It's
that's why I
good.
named
It's
it
good.
this.
Yeah, I need one. Maybe it might be like from Arkansas to Miami. Arkansas to not much going on in Arkansas when I was there. I'll
I need
think
to
of something
visit.
though. But no, you're killing it. I think this is great. Even this platform that you have right here, you're on
Yeah,
the
no, I'm
path.
very thankful. We have a lot of cool things going on. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot
you're
of
gonna
cool
be
things
great.
on. But thank you so so much,
All
and
right, well, stay
tell
warm, all that stuff, and I will see you soon in September.
yes, tell your child I said hi. Oh, and tell Alex and everybody,
Yes.
Steven, and everybody I work
I'm gonna
with
show her this. She's gonna see that I cried on your podcast and how great she is.
when you were talking about her. Okay, well, thank you so much, Boris. I'll see you
All
soon.
right, talk to you soon. All
Bye.
right.